Hello. 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 How's everyone doing? Hmm? How are you all doing? You're doing okay? We're doing more Stanley today. Getting into the new content. Uh, wait today. Okay, they already were kind of at the start because they asked me to input the current time. They asked that the previous time too. Like, hey, thank you for setting the time. It doesn't actually do anything. Most people just set it to 12 a.m. Hey. Like, hey, did it reset my save or something? Are all the settings reset? No, it is just.
This is the story of a man named Stanley. Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. Stanley was happy.
There we go.
And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened, this complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
Welcome back. I got an achievement for quit the game and then start it again. Not dealing with this.
But Stanley simply couldn't handle the pressure. What if he had to make a decision? What if a crucial outcome fell under his responsibility? He had never been trained for that. No. This couldn't go any way except badly. The thing to do now, Stanley thought to himself, is to wait. Nothing will hurt me. Nothing will break me. In here I can be happy forever. I will be happy. Stanley waited.
Love.
Hours passed, then days. Had years gone by? He no longer had the ability to tell. But the one thing he knew for sure, beyond any doubt, was that if he waited long enough, the answers would come. Eventually, someday, they would arrive. Soon, very soon now, this will end. He will be spoken to. He will be told what to do. Now it's
This
just
time is
a
not
little
actually
bit
set to
closer.
the time I set it to.
Now it's even closer. Here it comes. But Stanley simply couldn't handle the pressure. What if he had to make a decision?
Okay, that's the same thing. I was wondering, hey, maybe there's something funny if you.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. Stanley went around touching. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers. Oh, please. Are you really just doing this for the achievement? Click a door 5 times. Is that all that you think an achievement is worth? No. I can't just give these merits away for such little effort. A measly 5 clicks. Now suppose you were to click the door 20 times. I would say that's the kind of effort that warrants recognition. I have to say, I'm still not feeling the satisfaction of witnessing true effort for a noble cause. Perhaps 50 clicks will do it. Yes, almost certainly 50 clicks. No, I'm still not feeling it. I want this achievement to have meant something. It has to be a true reward for valiant effort. I want to see some hustle, Stanley. I want to see commitment, a willingness to go all the way, no matter what the cost. Why don't you go put 20 clicks into door number 417?
Okay, let's go.
Oh, great. Now, go click a few times on door 437.
Let's go. I'm hyped up. Where's door 437?
Excellent. I think we're getting somewhere. Now, door 415. Let's give it 10 clicks or so.
We need the adventure lines, so. This is too fitting. One moment, please. 4:15.
Now, back to door number 437. Let's see. How about you click on, well, I don't know, the copy machine. All right, back to room 417. I'm really feeling it now. I think we're getting somewhere. Okay, now go climb on employee 419's desk. Yes! This is great! You're putting it all on the line, Stanley. I like that. All right, let's keep it up. Go give me a few clicks on door 416.
Where's 416? Where is it? Adventure line music is more helping. Don't see 416 anywhere.
Stanley clicked on literally every single door in the office because he doesn't pick up well on cues from his environment.
It's the achievement!
all of his co-workers. Oh, please. Are you really just doing this for the achievement? Click a door 5 times. Is that all that you think an achievement is worth? No, no, no. I can't just give these merits away for such a measly 5 clicks. Now suppose you were to click the door 20 times. I would say that's the kind of effort that warrants recognition. I have to say I'm still not feeling the satisfaction of witnessing true effort for a noble cause. Perhaps 50 clicks will do it. Yes, almost certainly 50 clicks. No, I'm still not feeling it. I want this achievement to have meant something. It has to be a true reward for valiant effort. I want to see some hustle, Stanley. I want to see commitment, a willingness to go all the way no matter what the cost. Why don't you go put 20 clicks into door number 417? Oh, great. Now, go click a few times on door 437. Excellent. I think we're getting somewhere. Now, door 415. Let's give it 10 clicks or so. Now, back to door number 437. Let's see. How about you click on, well, I don't know, the copy machine. All right, back to room 417. I'm really feeling it now. I think we're getting somewhere. Okay, now go climb on employee 419's desk. Yes! This is great! You're putting it all on the line, Stanley. I like that. All right, let's keep it up. Go give me a few clicks on door 416.
416.
Stanley clicked on literally every single door in the office because he doesn't pick up well on cues from his environment.
I'm supposed to click on door 416. I need one of the house. Time for new content. Sorry. New content, let's go. Oh, here's 4.
We've almost got it! Now the copy machine, do that one again! Finish it off, Stanley! 5 clicks on door 4. Yes!
We did it!
Oh, wow. That felt amazing.
We did it!
Oh, you really earned it, Stanley. Nothing could hold you back. Yes, I'm very proud of how far we've come today. Just think, only a few minutes ago you believed an achievement was worth 5 little clicks. Really now, what were you thinking?
New content.
for playing the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe. As you may know, the Stanley Parable was a video game released in 2013 on home computers. After receiving critical and commercial success, it was expanded upon in 2022 with the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, a reimagining of the game for consoles and home computers. The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe features exciting new content that broadens and expands the world of the Stanley Parable,
More
delighting
gay.
audiences the world over. Please, step inside and see what thrilling new adventures await in the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe.
Oh, well, this sounds delightful. I'm very excited to see the thrilling new Ultra Deluxe content. Okay, so far it's an elevator. Nothing special yet, but I'm sure it's just the beginning of a mesmerizing adventure. Is it broken? What's going on here? Should we be moving somewhere or... oh, there we go. All right, finally, at long
Let's
last,
go.
it's on to the new
New
content.
content.
I've never been more ready. Let's do it. I have to say, initial impressions of Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, mostly tedious. It's as if, oh, okay. Let's see the content. Give me the content, Stanley.
Content. I hope I'll be content with it.
All right, let's see. It's the jump circle?
New content. Oh yeah, I can actually jump in the circle. Oh. Oh, I can't jump anymore. I used up.
Is that it? Surely that's not all the new content. There has to be something else, right?
Content.
Goodness. Another
Hey.
elevator. Stanley, I have to say, initial impressions of this game are not positive. It's just elevators and jumping. Is this what passes for exciting new content? If this is new content, then I could just read you the whole dictionary. There's 20 hours of new content right there.
New
Hell,
content.
I could count to 30 trillion. You could put that on the box. The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, now with over 1,000 hours of new content. And oh, wait. There's more. Very good.
More.
Yes. I knew there had to be something else. Let's see it. I'm ready for whatever it is. That's it? Oh, you've got to be kidding me. You see, Stanley? This is what happens when greedy video game developers with no respect for their fan base rush a cheap expansion to market for no reason other than to make an easy dollar. And don't get me started on the level of craftsmanship that's gone into it. In fact, I'm looking right now at the game's achievements, and it's hard to believe one of them actually says, "Test achievement, please ignore."
It does say that,
What quality assurance department signed off on this? I'm infuriated and I'm offended, and I intend to find these people on Twitter and hold them personally accountable.
Oh no, not
It's
Twitter.
my fault, Stanley. I built up too much anticipation around the new content, I'm afraid. It could never have lived up to such expectations. If you're still with me, why don't we just reset the game? and we'll try to get back to what the Stanley Parable is really about. No frills, no gimmicks. Just you and me having a great time together like always. What do you say, friend?
Oh. Walked out of the cover because we're done.
Psst! Stanley! Come over here! In the vent! I want to show you something!
No, that would make me sus though.
Oh, you don't want to see the cool surprise I made for you? Well, fine. You're a dork anyway, so who cares? When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there. Stanley stepped into the broom closet, but there was nothing here, so he turned around and got back on track.
Broom closet.
There was nothing here. No choice to make, no path to follow, just an empty broom closet. No reason to still be here.
Like the radiation.
It was baffling that Stanley was still just sitting in the broom closet. He wasn't even doing anything. At least if there was something to interact with, he'd be justified in some way. As it is, he's literally just standing there doing sweet FA. Are you really still in the broom closet? Standing around doing nothing? Why? Please offer me some explanation here. I'm genuinely confused. You do realize there's no choice or anything in here, right? If I'd said Stanley walked past the broom closet, at least you would have had a reason for exploring it to find out. But it didn't even occur to me because literally this closet is of absolutely no significance to the story whatsoever. I never would have thought to mention it. Maybe to you this is somehow its own branching path. Maybe when you go talk about this with your friends, you'll say, "Oh, did you get
The broom closet
closet
ending. The
broom
room
closet
closet ending
was
is
my
my favorite.
I hope your friends find this concerning. Stanley was fat and ugly and really stupid. He probably only got the job because of a family connection. That's how stupid he is. That or with drug money. Also, Stanley is addicted to drugs and hookers. Well, I've come to a very definite conclusion about what's going on right now. You're dead. You got to this broom closet, explored it a bit, and were just about to leave because there's nothing here when a physical malady of some sort shut down your central nervous system and you collapsed on the keyboard. Well, in a situation like this, the responsible thing is to alert someone nearby so as to ensure that your body is taken care of before it begins to decompose. Hello? Anyone who happens to be nearby? The person at this computer is dead. They have fallen prey to any number of your countless human physiological vulnerabilities. It's indicative of the long-term sustainability of your species. Please remove their corpse from the area and instruct another human to take their place, making sure they understand basic first-person video game mechanics and filling them in on the history of narrative tropes in video gaming, so that the irony and insightful commentary of this game is not lost on them. All right, when you've done that, just step out into the hallway.
I'm new here. What's been going on? Not that the person here died. So, what are we doing here? How are we reading?
Ah, second player. It's good to have you on board. I guarantee you can't do any worse than the person who came. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
So shiny. The elevator's kind of long. I'm gonna raise my volume, hopefully it's worse. Okay, there we go. It's nice, eh? So that was pointless.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this. What dark secret was being held from him? What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him, and so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number, 2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known. Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck. Amazing. He stepped into the newly opened passageway.
Reminds me of Stray for some.
Descending deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long. Whoops, nope, never mind. Stanley actually got back into the elevator and went back up. Silly me.
Silly
Why
you.
did Stanley do that when he knew that it would just lead back to his boss's office? Well, that's a great question. I just can't wait to find out. Here we are, Stanley. It's your boss's office. Exactly the way it was before you got onto the elevator. It's still just exactly what it is. What a decision you've made to come up here and look at the office again. This has fleshed out the plot of the story in new and fascinating ways I could have never anticipated. It's that keen eye for storytelling that you have, an incisive rapid fire of critical plot points, one after the other, weaving a rich tapestry of uncompromising narrative. Wow! I'm bolted to the edge of my seat. Incredible. Now he's getting back into the elevator and going down again. Ladies and gentlemen, how does he keep coming up with all of this?
Ugh. Go back up.
Did you think we were going to go forward down the spooky corridor? No. It's time once again to go back up in the elevator. I can't even begin to grapple with what might be up there. Is it the boss's office again? Or what if it's the boss's office this time? The suspense is killing me.
No way, it's the boss's office. What?
Oh my god. It's the boss's office. This absolutely changes everything for me. Give me a timeout here for a minute while I process this.
Time for an ad break.
Okay, I'm ready. I'm prepared to embrace this stunning revelation and to move forward with... No! No, wait! No! I need more time to process.
Time for another ad break.
All right. I have fully come to terms with it. I have made space in my worldview for this astonishing new reality. As before, I turn to your expert eye for gripping narrative, Master Stanley.
Still ad break time. Okay, it's time to get back to this masterclass in storytelling.
Of course. Going back down in the elevator. How did I not anticipate it? I mean, sure, now it's obvious, but you have to understand that 30 seconds ago, this kind of thing had never been attempted before. I had no frame of reference to even anticipate it. That's just how revelatory Stanley's decision-making is. A breath of fresh air in a landscape of storytelling that has grown stale and repetitive.
I got too scared.
You know what? I've just thought of something. Hold on, let's stop for a moment. Don't you realize? It's the anticipation, Stanley. You and I, we have no way of knowing what will be at the top of this elevator.
We have
But the
absolutely no-
suspense, the agony of waiting and anticipating and having to guess, that's the real thrill. Oh, I simply don't want to let that feeling go. It's so precious, so fleeting. Why don't we take this elevator ride nice and slow?
Ranger
There
Blade.
we go. Isn't this
Thank you
so
for the
much
stargazing.
more exciting? You know, Stanley, it seems like nowadays the only thing that
Sorry,
audiences want is to be shocked as loudly and frequently as possible. They want big, explosive moments flung right in their faces from the very moment that things get started.
Lurking.
But where's the tension? Where's
Been a
the
while back,
trust
though.
in the audience to build a slow and
Portion
nuanced
most
appreciation
deception
of the
speed running
story, the
sorry.
characters? Why aren't
It's
we
the
given
fault
time
of-
to imagine the surprises?
No worries.
To have to
I
think and to anticipate and then to marvel at the eventual
exactly
reveal.
leaving.
This is storytelling.
Thank you for being here.
Stanley. What you and I
Maybe
are doing
one day
right
we'll turn to
now.
Dark
This
Section,
is
but
the most
might take a
exciting
while.
narrative to be developed in years, and it's really all because of you. You're the
Just
one who took this bold step
a
of
bit sick of the
revisiting
game
the
now.
exact same locations over and over. Truly, I mean it. This is unique and different.
Or sort
It's
of
not like
game.
anything else out there. You see, I want stories that surprise me, Stanley. I want to have to
Thank
think.
you again for the
I want to be
photo.
engaged and not pandered
Enjoy
to.
the lurk.
We're
or-
being fed such unimaginative drivel all the time, and we all know it, which is why we're so starved for content that makes us feel sharp and vital and alive. That's why people like you so much, Stanley. Because
Yeah,
you're
I
not
was
afraid
afraid-
to
Should
spit
do the
in
narrator.
the face of tradition. You're a role model, you know? People look up to you. Which is why, though I didn't know when to spring this on you, but, well, I've gathered a little press conference for you, so that you can talk about your work and your storytelling and your life. Yes, I know you're not much for the public eye, but I thought it would especially mean a lot to the people who have been following you from the beginning. They really look up to you, Stanley. I don't know if you realize the impact you have on them. This is the kind of gesture that might leave a tremendous impact on them for the better.
I see.
Oh, good, we're here.
Oh.
Okay, the room where we're holding the press conference should be just around the corner here somewhere.
Stanley live on stage. Obvious who. Not actually a game. Live the guy who went to Mars. Yeah, they're like I'm also like that's kind of the reason why I'm not playing is I'm waiting for the update. Waiting for the update, but that's happening.
Ah, yes, here it is, just through this door.
That's Minecraft. Extreme fact.
All right, are you ready? I've told them you're going to speak a little bit about the nature of surprise in storytelling and what it means to craft a truly unpredictable narrative. Oh, don't worry. You'll do great. Just be yourself and speak from the heart. I'm really proud of you, Stanley. Okay, it looks like they're ready for you. Go get 'em.
Stanley. Stanley. People! Oh no.
Psst. Stanley, come over here. In the vent. I want to show you something.
Nah, not yet.
Oh, you don't want to see the cool surprise I made for you? Well, fine. You're a dork anyway, so who cares? When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided, oh no, no, not again. I won't be part of this. I'm not going to encourage you. I'm not going to say anything at all. I'm just going to be patient and wait for you to finish whatever it is you enjoy doing so much in this room. Please take your... Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office. Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. What? Stanley was in such a rush to get through the storm as quickly as possible, he didn't even have a single minute to just let the narrator talk. That kind of anxiety isn't healthy, so he relaxed for a few moments with some calming New Age music. Feeling soothed and rejuvenated, Stanley calmly walked forward into the opened passageway. Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility. Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley would meet his violent death.
Going to escape.
The door behind him was not shut. Stanley still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track.
Like specimen 9.
At this point, Stanley was making a conscious, concerted effort to walk forward and willingly confront his death.
Oh, it's one form of escape.
As the machine whirred into motion and Stanley was inched closer and closer to his demise, he reflected that his life had been of no consequence whatsoever. Stanley can't see the bigger picture. He doesn't know the real story, trapped forever in his narrow vision of what this world is. Perhaps his death was of no great loss, like plucking the eyeballs from a blind man. And so he resigned and willingly accepted this violent end to his brief and shallow life. Farewell, Stanley.
Bye-bye.
"Farewell, Stanley," cried the narrator, as Stanley was led
Right.
helplessly into the enormous metal jaws. In a single visceral
This is not
instant,
a
Stanley
third
was
narrator.
obliterated as the machine crushed every bone in his body, killing him instantly.
Third narrator now.
And yet it would be just a few minutes before Stanley would restart the game, back in his office, as alive as ever. What exactly did the narrator think he was going to accomplish? When every path you can walk has been created for you long in advance, death becomes meaningless, making life the same. Do you see now? Do you see that Stanley was already dead from the moment he hit start?
This blueprint shows the office from the beginning of the game. All from Sunny's have been out and altered for 7 and total remains up. I wonder if that's actually the case or not. Set of 2 open doors was very first concrete line. This room was created versus an extension of it. Recreation. Corridor. Right, guarded. They're not flying. Oh, filing cabinet. Yeah, no, they're not flying. They're not flying cabinet. Sounds produced throughout the game on. Hi, Brianna. Signed by Davey Redden and Ghost Rose. Direction Dominic Johan. Adam lead. Red Bull Kevin writing. Narrator. Kevin McLeod. Version of the main. The office. Yeah. I actually heard it earlier this year. Developments of version of Omicron. First thing. Countdown in. Video extending as that's not bad. time the elevation in one of up or down, the freight off and count up. Dependent is a place down and place the credits together instead. Down row. This version is Stanley Parable. Looks like a portal map. Getting here to ending known as sending, which remember poor version of the end. Decided abandon and change. It only ended. Part of the Zending. Different is four major thesis traders. I know each meant to change something about the spirit of the game. First one, working rooms and version. Version. After the early version. Yeah, this really does look like a portal test chamber. I was going to. Oh. Actually, a portal test chamber. So much money. I think YouTube. That's you. Here. Yeah, Portal 1. This looks like a Portal mod. Already in development with this, and we were kind of ending where Battlefield finding aliens. The game would come on sentient and the would war against the narrative. Really, after that, hard to joke in old. But some people just making. Ah, that's a shame. Fun. Without yeah, to animal the narrative for Chris. In initially planned to use these for sections of these. Make a jailbreak. First game ever. Fuck. Game going. I hope it's better than the Pure Volk. of us over time. On monitor. I Science Center. Right, that's kind of game. Environment's changed. This one looks a lot more abandoned.
The kind of thing
For
you
gamers,
pick up on intuitively if you had even the most fundamental understanding of good and bad game design. Stood on the snow. But of course, you being you, you'll probably spend the next hour trying to solve it. Here, I'm just going to make this easy on you. Stanley walked through the green door.
Green door.
Stanley
Our
pushed
games.
the orange lever. Then he pushed the number 4. Stanley walked over the bridge. Nothing there. Shoot.
Oh, look at these two. How they wish to destroy one another. How they wish to control one another. How they both wish to be free. Can you see?
Like the museum.
Can you see how much they need one another? No, perhaps not. Sometimes these things cannot be seen. But listen to me. You can still save these two. You can stop the program before they both fail. Push escape and press quit. There's no other way to beat this game. As long as you move forward, you'll be walking someone else's path. Stop now and it'll be your only true choice.
Did it.
This is the story of a... Psst! Stanley! Come over here! In the vent! I want to show you something!
Time to be sus.
Gregory, you see a small vent on the floor?
I forgot I
Have
had
you
that.
ever heard of Among Us, Gregory? You need to vent. I know it will be hard for you to be sus, but I know you can do it, Gregory.
Brianna, you missed a very cool epic new content introduction.
Okay, you remember how cheap and unsatisfying the new Ultra Deluxe content turned out to be? Well, it got me thinking about the past, and how much better the Stanley Parable used to be. So I made something special and tucked it away here where the game's developers won't find it. Just our little secret.
Like there was a catwalk? There was the jump circle? Yeah, how did you know about the jump circle? You watched other girls play this. Thought I was your own. Yeah. Mark. Whoa, this looks. Whoa, this looks really. Love the way this.
I call it the memory zone. It's where I've been storing all my favorite memories so I can relive the peak experiences of my life whenever I want. Experiences like the launch of the Stanley Parable on PC.
I purposely didn't. How did jump button?
You see, Stanley, doesn't the memory zone remind you of how wonderful Stanley Parable was before it was sullied with a cheap re-release? Remember back in October of 2013, when the game originally launched? Back then, video games had integrity. Back then, it all meant something. Oh, the waste.
Oh, oh my god, is that so old? That's so old, Steam. I like the new AI though. Let's actually win that. The Last of Us in the game. Lost. Okay, now. Fireful. Exit. Sorry, don't play. Video game releasing today. Great to surprise me down to earth. Now I don't think this one is right. I wonder if this. Oh. I know.
Rihanna J. Gay _ has been a commitling for over a year. 20 months. Okay, apparently my sub are nude today.
Yay. A beautiful moment.
C'est là, dans la mémorise, où je me remémore les jours où je t'ai rencontré, mon amour.
And over here is where I keep reviews of the Stanley Parable. Like this stunning triumph of games journalism, 10 out of 10 from Destructoid.com. James Stephanie Sterling writes, and I quote, "Where so many games that aspire to be more than games end up less than any form of art, Stanley Parable strives and then succeeds to be every game ever created." Did you hear that, Stanley? Every game ever created. That's how grand and all-encompassing the original Stanley Parable was. It was literally every game ever created. It was Skyrim, it was Persona 3, it was all of them, and now it's nothing. It's no games at all. It isn't even the Stanley Parable anymore. It's just a husk now. A lifeless husk with an hour of new elevator content.
Disturbing the peace, look into my eyes. Now tell me the things you let me out. That's the thing. I would play it, but I'm worried about getting strike. Hey, that's Portal. Now this looks like a Portal 1 test chamber if I've ever seen one. It's the museum we just saw. Minecraft. Like development stream. Someone recreate. Prizes.
Here's another moving passage, this time from GameSpot.com. The Stanley Parable is both a richly stimulating commentary on the nature of choice in games, and one that offers some of the most enjoyable, surprising, and rewarding choices I've ever been confronted with in a game. 9 out of 10. Don't you get it, Stanley? The game was perfect. It didn't need anything else. It didn't need new content. It just needed to be left alone, to spend the rest of time collecting dust in the hallowed hall of beloved video game memories.
On. Serious.
These were simpler times, Stanley. But I wouldn't give to go back, to have it all over again. Wait, hang on. I don't recall this part of the memory zone before. What's this? What's down here? Oh no. Oh God, no. Stanley, it's a collection of reviews from Steam, the online video game distributor. I haven't looked at these in years. I can't even imagine what's been collecting down here. Surely these reviews were glowing as well, weren't they?
Not recommended.
Honestly, I could not be bothered to play this game to full completion. The narrator is obnoxious and unfunny, with his humor and dialogue proving to be more irritating than entertaining. Unfunny! I'm not trying to be funny. I'm trying to make a serious work of art. I suppose I could write up a handful of gags to insert into the Stanley Parable, but the game is already such a densely layered web of profound philosophical insights that I can't even imagine where I'd have the room to stick them.
It's positive though. Honest recommended.
Okay, let's see what this one says. While the idea for the game is good, for someone who prefers non-linear games, this preachiness gets annoying fast. Preachy? Stanley, I'm not preachy, am I? You can tell me if I'm preachy. Honestly, you can.
No.
This is actually quite shocking for me. Well, to be honest, I had always thought of the game's dialogue as being rather terse to begin with. You can't know how much fluff I cut from the game to get it to feel as light and airy as it... Well, I always thought it did. But maybe it wasn't. Oh dear. What an awful memory to have to hold on to. These black marks are my otherwise unimpeachable track record. I feel like a failure. Like I let these people down. Perhaps the Stanley Parable isn't quite as sterling as I always remembered.
You can't. Same thing though. That's.
What's this one got to say? You constantly have to stop doing anything so the narrator can catch up with his long-winded explanations of what's happening. I wish there was a skip button. A skip button? Well, yes. Yes, I think we can do that. If I'm truly too preachy, then then maybe letting you skip ahead for just a moment, surely it couldn't hurt. Not if it means we can strike these negative reviews from the record. Only positive reviews of the Stanley Parable. That's my motto today, and it's always been my motto. I'd do anything for the customer, Stanley. Yes, a skip button we shall have. And here it is. Go ahead and give it a shot. I'll pop you forward in time so that the second my incessant droning starts to bore you, with just the push of a button, you'll have zipped right past it. It's what the players have been asking for, and I'm very proud to have delivered. No more listening to me rambling on and on and on. No, 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 no. The Stanley Parable is a game for the people. And if the people want silence, then by goodness, that's what they're going to get. Well, don't sit around waiting for me to shut up. Go ahead and make me shut up. Here, we'll pretend that I've just begun an interminable monologue, and it goes something like this. The story and the choices, or what have you, and therefore, by becoming
listen to this.
so on and so forth, until inevitably, we all until the end of time, at which time everything all at once, so, now you see, blah 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 blah. We've eaten too much and it can't be just yet, no, until 245. That the logic of elimination working backwards, the deduction therefore becomes impossible to manufacture. It went on for nearly 10,000 years, until just yesterday, here and there, forward and back, and never a moment before lunchtime. It can't be. It's the only thing there is. How many billions left until so much more than forever ago? Which is why I say... the story and the choices, or what have you, and therefore, by becoming it is, so on and so forth, until inevitably, we all until the end of time, at which time everything all at once, so, now you see, blah 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 blah. We've eaten too much and it can't be just yet, no, until 245. That the logic of elimination working backwards, the deduction therefore becomes impossible to manufacture. It went on for nearly 10,000 years, until just yesterday, here and there for...
Okay, oh my god, that speech has been overwhelming me too much. I haven't been able to do anything else. Did I mention that I might have ADHD? I don't know if I might have. I wouldn't be surprised. I should probably get myself tested someday, somehow, some way, somewhere, so far away. I can't beat with my hands empty. I'm gonna run with some. I think I've definitely mentioned it to you privately, but not publicly.
Forward and back, and never a moment before lunchtime. It can't be. It's the only thing there is. How many billions left until so much more than forever ago? Which is why I say... the story and the choices, or what have you, and therefore, by becoming it is, so on and so forth, until inevitably, we all until the end of time, at which time everything all at once, so, now you see, blah 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 blah. We've eaten too much and it can't be just yet, no, until 245. That the logic of elimination working backwards, the deduction therefore becomes impossible to manufacture. It went on for nearly 10,000 years, until just yesterday, here and there, forward and back, and never a moment before lunchtime. It can't be. It's the only thing there is. How many billions left until so much more than forever ago? Which is why I say... Oh, you're back, you see. You were only frozen in time for a few minutes, but it was plenty of time for me to deliver a long, rambling monologue full of unnecessary verbal flourishes and lengthy ruminations.
I didn't look at the clock. Look at the clock to see how...
the nature of choice in video games. Of course, I happen to believe it was perhaps one of my more profound such ruminations.
Was it?
Of course, you need a description of it, but if
Was
I
it?
had to describe it, I'd say it was perhaps less of a rumination and more of a treatise. Or
Was it?
maybe a manifesto. Look,
Is it
I'll
me,
outline it for you very briefly.
Sorry, I just need to... To me, it seemed like you were rambling out nothing.
and you can tell me what you
Mine
think.
couldn't-
Okay.
Angel
my
Mine couldn't
theory
either,
is that
so
any
neither
choice
could Neko
you've
or
ever made
Kitsune Mine.
is simply a series of choices made by the person who you are, or were, or will be at the time of having made said choice. That is to say, if by articulating a choice you've already made, you bring that choice into being, then by making no choice and saying nothing, are you not simply erecting in the sanctuary of time a monument to every person you've ever been, making every choice to which you've ever given your great gift of mortal and yet timeless thought? Or rather, do all of the choices you've ever made, in fact, make you more not this kind of person, and in fact do the
What are you
very
talking
opposite?
about?
You see, it could in fact be both of these things at once. That you are both making choices and not making choices, and that they are both affecting you and not affecting you at the same time by virtue of the fact that you both are and are not making them. Okay, at first, I was leaning towards manifesto, but now I'm going to circle around and slap the treatise label on this one. I think it has much more of a treatise vibe to it. But wouldn't you say that manifesto just has a much grander sort of tone? It has a mouthfeel that is rich with ambition and history. Ambitious history, if you will. See, now you've got me going back to manifesto. Heavens, at this rate, we're going to be here all day. Okay, look. I have a method for exactly this sort of situation, and I do find myself in this situation frequently. I'm going to say each word back and forth in repeated succession until I become sick of one or the other, in which case the word I am not sick of shall be the victor. It is an unimpeachable strategy, Stanley. It's rescued me from disaster in countless situations. All right, here we go. Treatise, manifesto. Treatise, manifesto.
Treatise, manifesto. Treatise, manifesto. Treatise, manifesto. Treatise, manifesto. Treatise, manifesto. Treatise, manifesto. Treatise, manifesto. Treatise, manifesto. I need to do something. Hopefully that's better.
Treatise,
Manifesto. Treatise, manifesto. Treatise, manifesto.
Treatise,
Manifesto. Treatise, manifesto. Treatise, manifesto. Treatise, manifesto. Treatise, manifesto. Treatise, manifesto. Treatise, manifesto. Treatise, manifesto. Treatise, manifesto. Treatise, manifesto. Treatise, manifesto. Treatise, manifesto. Treatise, manifesto.
Treatise,
Manifesto. Treatise, manifesto.
Treatise,
Manifesto?
manifesto.
Talking about
Manifesto. Treatise, manifesto.
little break.
Manifesto. Treatise, 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 manifesto. Treatise. 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 Manifesto. Treatise.
Oh shoot, I was muted.
Treatise. Manifesto.
Treatise. Manifesto. Three tips. Manifesto.
Treatise. Manifesto. Treatise. Manifesto. Treatise. Manifesto. Treatise. Manifesto.
Okay, anyway, I'm not muted right now.
Manifesto. Treatise. 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 Manifesto. Well there, sport. You really did catch me rambling on a bit, didn't you? But that's the power of the button. The minute I start to go off on a thoughtless display of self-absorption, it's right at your fingertips to go poof, and it's all over. Oh, I can't wait to see what Cookie9 will say about this, and whether they'll edit the rating of their Steam review, or at least change some of the wording, perhaps. To be honest, I don't even know if one can change their review in the first place.
You can actually.
Yes, I should become better educated on exactly
I'm
how
pretty
Steam
sure you
works.
can.
Perhaps that would have been
Yeah,
the
no,
smart
you
thing to
definitely
check
can.
on before I
I've
went
edited
about
the
this whole
stream
exercise of
review
making the skip
earlier.
button. Although I have to imagine that after seeing this exciting new technology at work, surely whoever it is runs Steam will
Oh,
instantly
you can
run
edit
out
Steam
and
reviews.
implement a
I've
new
edited
feature
my
to
Steam
make it
reviews.
possible to edit one's review, merely because of this very situation. Yes, I think that's quite likely. Or perhaps they'll simply grant this particular user the ability to change their review, so that the feature is not widely abused. No, I would
it's
even be
possible to
okay
change
with Steam altering
review.
this particular review so that it reads as something more beneficial. Something along the lines of, this game is the best game. Let me start over. How about this? From the ashes of depravity rises the phoenix of quality.
Is that a reference to someone thing? I had to understand. Narrator. Narrator. Go. Anyway, you can edit Steam. I've edited my Steam review of a certain game. I don't. Important. My narrative back.
Okay, welcome back, Stanley. Now, I should say that the amount of time the button has been skipping through is becoming longer and longer. That last one was, well, I want to say maybe 30, 45
like
minutes?
30, 45.
It's not unendurable by any means, but it's, well, there's really only so much I can ramble on to myself about. I know, it's shocking, isn't it? But
You were so quiet, though. You didn't say anything.
I do suggest that we not press the button again. I think the skip button has been aptly demonstrated, and we can say goodbye to it and just... Wait, how do we get out of here? Where did the door go?
I noticed that at the exact same time. I was like, where'd the door go?
Door that led into this room?
Yeah, there was.
I feel quite certain that there was one here before. How else would we have gotten into the room in the first place? I don't think one can enter a room without a door of some sort, or a window or something like that. Do you see a window anywhere? A porthole? A sufficiently large crack in the wall? I'll take any of these. All I want is for us to move on and to please step away from the skip button, to go anywhere other than the skip button. There was a door here before, wasn't there? I swear there was. Where did it go? Can you maybe just ram your way through a wall? Is there any possibility that you could, say, slam your body into the wall until enough damage is done for you to be able to leave? Please, I'll take any option at all. I'm asking you to work with me here. We need a door. We need a door of some kind. I can work with any kind of door as long as it can open and lead from one room to another. I'm going to step away for just a moment, and I'm going to try to find us a door. I don't know how exactly to remove a door and place it in a different wall, but I will find a way, I promise. You just need to not do anything. Don't press the skip button. Please, please, please do not press the skip button. Just wait here for me, and don't press the skip button.
Wait for you, narrator,
yes,
Mita.
Good. I'll be right back.
Far away from the... So, what do we do? Any idea? Oh, this is fun. Fun, decently new games called Nubby's Number Factory. Maybe we could play that while we wait. On the door. Yeah, Nubby's Number. Like an edutainment game from the 90s. There, now we have the game active. Close eye on the door. We're playing on Big Number Factory. Hello, my name is Tony.
Go.
In this game, was launched a little guy called Nobby. Hit packs and get a high enough number. That's the round goal. It even looks like one, yep. Still no door, by the way. Hope the game runs if it's focused. think my PC is starting to lag. LB is not. I wonder if I can do a Tony impression. Oh, the all-seeing pyramid is pretty good. Later on. So let me still know if you see a door appear. Patient woman. And I'm really bad at explaining. A perk. Whenever double. So every item has an activation and an effect. This one, when I pop 5 specs, it summons a quill and back. And if nobody dies, and if I've passed a round goal this round, the force trigger item in slot 5 twice. Dies first trigger one, dies item again. All these really matter right now. Perk, I think are useful. Oh, this one is a Nobby Dice item. Nobby Dice is item emits a gold ray. Rapidly, like once for each. Number 1 has triggered round. Gold Rush. That will give +1 coin when popped. Need to win money. Lucky with or just kept give a suspicious key. Perhaps. It's normally not this laggy, I swear. Last shot. So lives. Every time you shoot, you lose a life. Every goal, every time you hit the goal, gain a life. So if I hit 2 times the goal, then we'll gain 2 lives. But now because I'm only getting 1 times the goal, I'm gaining 1. Oh no! We died, so the sun exploded. Hey, you must be the new employee that we're talking about. Must Tony. I'm gonna be your super. My job is to show you how to run the factory. Here to care about your name or fame. Let's get into this. First things first, welcome aboard Nubby's Number Factory, the world's leading number manufacturer. Main control center of the factory. First task to launch our mascot Nubby down the backboard. Down right mouse and press left mouse too. Wow, you're really good at it, am I? Actually, your only job is to make big numbers. By launching numbers at the back. Earn however many points are shown on the bag. It is round. Number on the bottom is the goal. If you meet the goal, the board will restock. Really high where the board roll can restock multiple times in a single round. Oh wait, I forgot to even tell you what a restock is. Listen up, because restocks are an important thing. Board restocks, a bunch of new packs will fall from the sky and fill all your empty spaces. After pairs of packs with the same number will merge into one greater pack. Let's try it out. Launching Nubby until you're full. Spectacular, that was Packalicious, you're a star. Just kidding, no you're not. We're almost done. To rearrange packs, press the jumbo button. Nice. Nubby one more time. No, we'll also do strong packs but not others. Break for once, but will bounce off any pack greater than one. Alright, but that is for the tutorial. Test out for yourself. Oh wait! I forgot one important thing. Aggies! Huggy duckies. Aggies, really. Time you launch Nubby, you lose one life. If you run out of lives, the sun will explode. Luckily, every time the board restocks, you get one life back. Big numbers, no blinking. Okay, now I'm done. Thanks for not pressing the skip tutorial button. Difficult for you. I'll go for a fresh new factory now. Good luck. I don't think there's actually anything going to happen. I think we have to skip press. I'm sorry, narrator. I didn't want to. Given no order.
Stanley, please don't push the button again. It's been 12 hours. You've just been frozen there. I don't know why the skips are getting longer, but they're really, truly getting longer. And my God, there's no way out of the room. Stanley, the door is gone. It's completely gone. I've looked at it from every angle. I've checked every one of those walls 1,000 times. And there's no door, Stanley. There's no door. There's just you and the button, and if you keep pressing it, I have no idea what will happen. I have no idea how long I'll be made to sit here, and more than anything else, I don't know how to stop you from pressing the button again. I can't control anything in this room, Stanley. I can't touch it, and I have to believe. I have to know that sooner or later, no matter how much I plead with you, you're going to press the button again. Why would you?
There's nothing's fucking happening.
I don't know what I can do to convince you otherwise. Oh my God. And it's all because of those reviews. Those reviews that I couldn't get out of my head. I just couldn't ignore the negative feedback. Why was it so important for me to fix the problem? Why did Cookie Nine's opinion matter so much to me? I've never even met Cookie Nine. I have no idea who they are. What would it ever really matter? But here I am. I'm fixating on every tiny negative thing that anyone ever says about me. The merest mention of one of my imperfections, and I become as impetulant as a child. Wild and impulsive. I can't help myself. I can't stop myself from lashing out with a vengeful fury to alter and to change and to break anything unbroken, if only it pleases this one person who made a single negative comment. What does such an impulse serve? For whose benefit is this? And here I am now, stuck in a room, waiting for you to press this button, and to become frozen in time, knowing that you're going to do it, and that I'm going to be stuck all alone, and that I had the power to prevent it all from happening, if only I'd held my tongue. It's all out of my control now. Just you. Just your decision as to exactly when you're going to make me suffer, to leave me all alone. Surely you will. I don't doubt it. Surely you'll press that button again, leaving me here.
Last time you
Surely you'll
left
put
me
your
here
own
alone.
desire to see what's next ahead of my need for company, for companionship.
Maybe I need companion and companionship too, but you just left me to look for this stupid door that you didn't even find in 12 hours.
Surely you'll not be moved by my howls of fitful anxiety that you sit with me and just stay here. Oh, no, 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 I know you too well.
I want you to stay with me too.
God. And it's all because of those reviews.
You left.
Those reviews that I couldn't get out of my head. I just couldn't ignore the negative feedback. Why was it so important for me to fix the problem? Why did Cookie Nine's opinion matter so much to me? I've never even met Cookie Nine. I have no idea.
You're repeating yourself again.
What would it ever really matter? But here I am. I'm fixating on every tiny negative thing that anyone ever says about me. The merest mention of one of my imperfections, and I become as impetulant as a child, wild and impulsive. I can't help myself. I can't stop myself from lashing out with a vengeful
You need some
fury.
time alone
Alter
to
change
calm
and
down.
break anything Oh, Stanley, you're back. You're back. Oh my goodness, I have someone to talk to again.
Hi.
Stanley, I think it's been a week.
I'm sorry.
2 weeks. I've been sitting here all that time, just sitting here, not a single person to speak with.
I
And you'd
didn't
think
mean
that
for it
that's
to be so
just
long.
how it's always been, right? Me talking and you saying nothing. Would you think that it's exactly the same as always? Doesn't that feel like what we've already been doing? Me just talking? But it isn't, Stanley. It isn't the same at all. It isn't even close. Because I know you can't hear me once you push that button. That's what I'm realizing now, Stanley. I'm realizing that I needed to know that someone was listening. I needed there to be a vessel through which my words were moving. It was the vessel I needed, Stanley, not the outcomes, not the story. None of that matters anymore. I'll give it all up. I'll give up every branching path. I'll burn my story to the ground. One single thing I need, and God, I can see now that I need it more than anything, is to know that someone else is taking it in. These words that I'm saying, I need to know you can hear me. Because maybe, Stanley, maybe...
I'm happy that you were able to
If you can hear me,
figure
then
out what
maybe
it matters,
I'm
but
real.
I don't know if you need to do
Maybe
that.
I'm not just a fiction. Was I scared of that all along? Perhaps, yes. Perhaps I've been scared this whole time, that if I stop speaking, I'll slip backwards into the silence and be consumed by it. I can't be taken by it, Stanley. I can't lose myself in the stretch of emptiness between you and me. When you press that button, you're still right there, but I know you're so tremendously far away. And in those moments, the emptiness folds itself outward in between the two of us, and I am suspended in its unyielding quietness. I can feel the edges of my reality curdling inward and decaying. I can tell that I am becoming less and less real. Yet to speak to you now, I am alive. I am truly and completely here. I am a being. I am someone. I am something. I am being listened to. I am being recognized. The emptiness between us has collapsed, and I feel right now like I am not a work of fiction. I feel as though I occupy space in this world again, and I have cast a shadow onto the wall. You see what I'm saying, don't you? You can see what this means to me. I'm so clear about it now, Stanley. I feel as certain about this as I've ever felt about anything at all. I feel renewed. I feel restored, and already I can sense the looming silence as you will press the button for the next time. What a terrible dread it strokes in my heart to think of it, to think of returning to such coldness. Come, let us sit in silence together here for just a moment. Let us anticipate it. Let us welcome it. Let us not run from it.
If you actually listen to me. Well, yeah. I figured most people. I find this more enjoyable. Wonder if something would actually happen if you waited the whole 12 hours. I'm sorry, narrator, but I have to do this.
Oh, hello. It's you. You're here again. Welcome. I have had time to think about you and about us and about everything we've been through. I've had so much time, I stopped keeping track after a year. Have you ever sat down in one place and not moved for one entire year? Let me describe it for you. To begin with, there is only regret. There is only the turning wheel of missed opportunities. I felt nothing at all but regret for the longest time, Stanley. Days, months. I lost it all in a blur of the deepest longing to undo the past. And when that feeling had begun to subside, what took its place is what I can only describe as the collapse of every moment I have ever experienced my entire life. All of them collapsed down into a single instant. In that instant, I could see myself clearly, calmly, with a collected heart. It was an impossibly rich wellspring of both delight and
We don't just need a skip button, we also need a rewind button. In case we skip something and we want to go back. Need a rewind button.
disgust simultaneously. I was consumed by it. I could do nothing but wallow in it for what felt like an eternity, for what I now know was far less. You see, it was a revelation for me. It was unlike anything I had ever known. It was a space without consequence, without action or outcome. It was divorced entirely from the question of free will that you and I have squabbled over for so long. There could be no one ending, no singular outcome of events, not if all events existed in the same moment, and I felt freed. I felt unburdened by the need to manifest a particular outcome into being. I saw that I could allow myself to exist along all timelines, and that each of them was simply a strand in the web of my being. It was incredible, the spaciousness, the equanimity of the moment, both singular and infinite. For the longest time, this was my experience. And then this moment passed, and the most unyielding fear I have ever known crept into my mind. And it is this sensation that I have been experiencing now for longer than I could have ever expected was possible. I have been waiting for you. Not that you might save me or do something to fix it, but merely to state for you the plain fact of this manner of existence. I wish you to feel afraid as I do, that perhaps one day this state of mind will consume you as well. Perhaps you will somehow, in some way, have to live as I do now, and I wish for you to know how excruciating it is, and for you to be in true terror of its eventual arrival. If I can only do this, only this one thing, perhaps it will bring me the smallest moment of peace in the darkness.
Ventilator stop work. Ugh. Ventilator stop working again. Beep 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 beep.
But they didn't understand the game was never meant to be funny. It was meant to have a point. It was meant to speak to the human condition. But where are the jokes? Where are the jokes? They bemoaned, they screamed, they gnashed their teeth and said, entertain us. It wasn't enough. They had to leave a pathetic little thumbs-down review and make all of their pitiful demands. But then, he's talking too much, they said. First, he didn't entertain us, now he won't shut up. It's the inconsistency, it's the lack of accountability, it's the unwillingness to examine with an uncompromising heart the words that they are speaking into the world, as though there were no...
Oh, maybe that's because you're trying to please everyone in a huge crowd. Can't do that.
consequences for a lack of cohesion in one's assessment of others. But of course, absolutely anyone can leave a review. So here's what we get. We get these demands that seek everything and are accountable to nothing. We get a world where someone will say, oh, there should be a skip button. You should be able to freeze Stanley in place while the narrator sits there forever and ever. We want all of this in the new Stanley Parable. We demand it. And then, because it was said, because it was spoken, now it simply has to happen. The most immediate desires, every single thing demanded by every person at every moment in time. If someone wants it, then it's a crime not to bring it into being. Have we been given to indulging every fleeting whim for no reason other than to do so? Yes! Yes! It seems that this is now the world we live in. It seems that we are a people living in such bleakness and discomfort with ourselves that our entertainment is now our lives. It has come to represent us. It absolutely must speak to who we are as people, because otherwise, without our entertainment, we have nothing. Without entertainment, we would have to face inward toward the cruel bleakness inside ourselves. We would turn to look at our deeper nature and find a resounding emptiness gazing back with unyielding aggression. And so because of this, we require that our amusements and our playthings and our flights of fancy be so impossibly captivating that they consume all of our attention, turn our heads completely away from the bleakness. In effect, we have demanded that our entertainment be the collapse of ourselves. What a pitiful reflection of humanity these entertainments are. What a shameful mirror to the human spirit they project. I'm not mad. I'm not mad about any of this. I'm at peace with it. I am the calm center of gravity around which these perversions hurl themselves. I am a waypoint for reasonable and collected discourse. They're the ones who are mad. They're the ones who couldn't stand the idea of me using my game to try to say something. Maybe they were just jealous of me. Yes, of course. They've been jealous of me this whole time. They are mired in fear and insecurity and cannot help but attempt to tear me down. What a sad state of affairs. When you read these reviews now, you can see it. You can taste the bitter resentment. And my, how good does it feel now to speak truth to these words, to finally allow these thoughts out, contained and managed for so long, neutered and sterilized. At last I am free to truly think, to feel. It must be that they were so discontent with themselves they couldn't help but leave a negative review on Steam. Perhaps it says far more about them than it ever said about me. Perhaps the state of their psychological being was in such tatters, and my constitution and willpower are so ironclad in comparison. Perhaps it was this state that they sought some outlet through which to tear me down. This, you can see, is clearly why they felt the need to expect that the game be funny, that it be filled with yucks and whimsical humor, that it amuse them endlessly from start to finish. But they didn't understand the game was never meant to be funny. It was meant to have a point. It was meant to speak to the human condition. But where are the jokes? Where are the jokes they've been...
Okay. Nothing's happening.
The end is never the end, 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 is never the end.
Oh, it's taking a while to load now. Meteorite star here is the land here. And this never, and this, and the end this. light. Go out there. Ow! Hit by a piece of the. Go up there. If I skip more, it will open up more. Ready? I wanna go out there. I wanna explore. It's like Portal 2. Stray. I wanna go out there and explore. This is no open world game. Ready? I absolutely love this aesthetic. This has to be one of my favorite aesthetics ever. A building that's like being destroyed and nature like overtaking it. I love that aesthetic so much. Like Portal 2 and Stray have it. I've actually been working on my own Portal 2 maps. Should like finish publicizing them all. And I wanted to do a Portal Stories Mouse playthrough after that. A little bit of self-promotion. Hope you do any of you love this aesthetic as much as I do? Like inside the back rooms also has a level like that. I'm sorry. No! 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 It's gone. I can't bear watching anymore. What is this? What's happening? Where's the tree? Where's life? What's going on? I don't like this. Sunlight. Skip button. Broken now. I don't. I've been wanting to leave for so long, but now that's finally happened. I can't. This job. Life. I live in this place. Please. I wanna go back. Let me unskip. Let me unskip. Never wanted this.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
Huh? New content.
Oh, good. You notice my sign. Yes, I have something very exciting to show you.
Can I unplug it? No. Okay. That sounded like the Alina of the Arena open noise. I know it's also used in Help Wanted. After Help Wanted.
You see, Stanley, I've been reflecting on the Stanley Parable and about how roundly disappointing this ultra deluxe version has turned out to be. The original Stanley Parable was a landmark, and any new content for it should live up to that legacy. So forget this ultra deluxe nonsense. I say we take it one step even further. Which is why I'm very proud to announce for the first time ever, the Stanley Parable 2.
No way. It's never the end. Again.
Yes, you see, isn't this far superior to a measly re-release with a few minor additions? Think of all the new territory we'll cover with a fully fledged sequel. An entirely new experience, built from the ground up. Why, there are so many possibilities. It could go in so many different directions. This is what fans have truly been asking for.
How do I get up there? Back up. It's at time anyway. How do I get up here the first time? Oh well. At time. Hi. Hi. Didn't forget to unmute myself this time. Are you proud of me? Hi.
Calling it
Thank
the
you.
Stanley Parable 2 is just so much catchier than Ultra Deluxe, don't you think?
Hey.
Ultra Deluxe?
That's Dutch.
What does it even mean? But the Stanley Parable 2, now that's an artistic statement right there. It's future-oriented. It screams progress and
Dutch.
innovation and
Yay.
long-term franchising potential.
Hey, that's Dutch. That's one of those standard Windows backgrounds. I recognize it from like old school. Not old school, but my old school. The running guy. We're back. The two new content is out. New content part 2 is busted. New hotness. Ooh, red section of the chart. Boring sections of the chart. Insightful. It's Google Slides. No, you can't do that. Cooler red. Leverage holistic value. Plants. The fern. We need to remember that. All this. No. Is that the comic sounds? Oh god, this. Reference. My god, is that actually?
Now, to be clear, I haven't quite nailed down what exactly the Stanley Parable 2 is going to be, but let's take a look at some of the features I've been developing for it. I figure that if I can loosely organize a handful of interesting concepts, that surely the game will sort of naturally spring up around them. It'll all work itself out. Game development is much more of a fuzzy magic than anything scientific or logical, really.
Took the red marker, me. I did. I took the red marker. Stairs this way to the show floor. New content. Us. Looks like the buses we have here. Expo Hall 2. Parable 2.
Here we are. Go on, try out some of the new features.
Hear your name in the game. Hear yours today. Hear what our name is.
For the Stanley Parable 2, I asked myself, what do players really want? And of course, the first and most obvious answer is that they want to be individually recognized and validated as people. So with that in mind, my first addition to the game is this button which speaks the name of the person playing the game. Isn't that wonderful?
Make it too small. That's right. I don't think the too big button is too big.
Jim.
Sorry, I should have clarified. Right now, the button only says the name Jim. But of course, in the final game, this button will say your name, whatever name it is. Here, let's have you role-play as Jim to really simulate the full experience of this feature. Just play along. I promise you'll love it. Okay, here we go. Let's take a deep breath, clear your mind, forget whoever you are, and simply become a person named Jim. I want you to imagine yourself living as Jim, sleeping and waking as Jim, falling in love and being heartbroken as Jim, seizing all of the world's possibilities as Jim, and as Jim watching your dreams crumble into dust. Do you feel it deeply? Are you really, truly Jim right now? If so, then please step forward and press the button.
Jim.
Whoa! Whoa! It said my
What a
name!
thrill! What a rush! That was you! The button described you. Do it again, do it again.
Jim.
Oh, it hits even harder the second time. If this were the only new feature in the Stanley Parable 2, it would still be worth the money. Let's take a break from the Jim button. I'm too emotionally drained from all of this personal validation.
Jim.
Whoa there, cowboy. Sometimes a person can be too much Jim. I'm putting the Jim button away. Otherwise, soon you'll start to lose all sense of who you actually are.
Jim.
Hi, it's me, Jim. I am Jim.
I suppose I
Yeah.
could allow only people named Jim to play the Stanley Parable 2. That would actually save me the work of finishing this feature.
Button that says Jim. That's Jim. You're Jim in the game. What the heck is that? Can you see that, Estia? My NFT notifications. He's all grown up. That says the name. Data playing the game. Jump circle. The jump circle's back. Merch. Merch. I want this shirt. I saw the new con. This is actually going to link to a store page. It links to the official website of the Stanley Parable too. Okay. Picture of level exclamation mark. You silly goober.
Okay, I'll be honest, I haven't yet decided on this one. I think that in the new version, the office could use a bit of decoration, like balloons. But I'm undecided on Get Well Someday and Happy 12th Birthday. Which would you go with?
Happy 12th birthday. Sorry, Hestia was being
You know, sometimes when you solicit another person's opinion, it makes you realize that you knew which one you actually really wanted all along. Get Well Someday it is.
Get Well Someday. Yay. To be fair, that would have been my second choice, so I'm not too mad. That would have been my second choice. For sure.
Or actually, maybe I should have gone with... No, I've made my decision, we're moving on.
Yeah, it would have been my second choice, but I've...
Come now, you've already made your choice. It's true that you chose badly, but we all have to move on from our mistakes.
Free and easy to get it here. Hold left or receive your new achievement. No more steps, it just works. It just works.
Now here's something special. You remember that broken test achievement that got left in the game on accident? Well, I'm developing a technology to simply give you the achievement. Yes, you see, you'll come to this lever, and when you pull it, the achievement will be given to you. It's as simple as that. Okay, perhaps I should have clarified. This is technology that will exist. Right now, the achievement is still fully broken. I'm not a wizard, Stanley.
Oh,
But
where's
I
the
guarantee
skip
it
button?
will be fixed in the sequel to at last satisfy the hordes of ravenous fans all over the world who have been uproariously demanding this feature. Gamers, we hear you, and I promise it will happen.
Where's the skip button?
What else? What other exhibits haven't we seen yet?
collect them all. Oh, whoa, it's like
Collectibles.
Red
Now
Ending.
it's a real video game. In the Stanley Parable 2, you'll run around gathering up these miniature Stanley figurines. And what's truly innovative is that there will be no reward for collecting all of them. I don't want to stifle the intrinsic joy of watching a number go up. You simply collect all of them, and then you move the hell on with your unremarkable life.
Korok seeds. It's Korok seeds. 6.
God, it really is the worst when you collect everything in a video game and then they give you a big fancy reward for it. Absolutely tragic.
What a thought-provoking art piece.
You know what? Let's bring the jump circle back for Stanley Parable 2 as well. It's a... Oh, wait. You already spent all your jumps the first time we saw the jump circle? Oh, well. I suppose it can just be a nice decorative piece then.
I didn't know it was a countdown. I thought it was like, hey, I get something if I did all the jumps. Sorry. Settings world champion. Fine. Big B. What? Distant space time. This looks like a fusion reactor. Going. Looks like a skin.
Stanley, here's an idea that I'm truly fond of. It's never been done before in a video game. This is, in fact, a hole that you can fall down forever. That's right. Infinite falling.
Portal
You
2
can
did
fall
that.
until the end of
Portal 1
time,
also
if you
did that.
like. A stunning leap forward for video games as a medium.
Portal already did that. Be me, bottomless hole supervisor, in charge of making sure the hole is in fact bottomless. I face when this hole has a bottom, no longer a bottomless hole, it's just a regular hole. I go to my boss, say the regular, no, the regular, sorry. Boss says, "You're the supervisor. Why didn't you fix it?" Raise the JPEG. Quit my job. Become a regular hole supervisor instead. Jump down new hole. It's bottomless.
You see, isn't it wonderful? One of my more ingenious concoctions, if I do say so. Now then, since you've gotten to see the infinite hole, you can press the teleport button to pop back up to the top, and we can continue onward. Now, I don't mean to be a bummer, but I do recommend you use the teleport button to go back to the top. Maybe do it on the sooner rather than later spectrum of things. Okay, Stanley, I don't know quite how to say this tactfully, but it's possible that I slightly exaggerated the infinite nature of the hole. Is it a very, very deep hole? To be certain it is. It's an extremely deep hole. I don't want anyone to say that it isn't an astonishingly deep hole. It is. Is it infinite? Well, that sort of depends on your definition of infinity. From one perspective, the infinite is merely philosophical in nature. It's more of a... Okay, well, good for you. You found the bottom of the hole. You found me out, Stanley. I'm a liar and a cheat, and you're so clever. Look, I think the issue here is just that you're unusually fascinated by falling. What normal person actually wants to fall infinitely? I figured the hole was as deep as anyone would actually need. Don't you put this on me. Maybe you're the problem. Look, things got a little heated there. I think we both said some things we didn't mean. Why don't we just put all this behind us and agree to just call the hole mostly infinite? If that works for you, then go ahead and press the teleport button to warp up to the top of the hole and we can move on. I'll just be up here when you're ready.
The bottomless hole is just a regular hole. Supervise. You have to have heard you hear this iconic masterpiece of
Be me, bottomless pit supervisor, in charge of making sure the bottomless pit is, in fact, bottomless. Occasionally, I have to go down there and check if the bottomless pit is still bottomless. One day I go down there and the bottomless pit is no longer bottomless. The bottomless pit is now just a regular pit. Distress stop, JPEG. Ask my boss what to do. He says, just make it bottomless again. I see. How? He says, I don't know. You're the supervisor. Great job, JPEG. Quit my job. Become a regular pit supervisor. First day on the job. Go to a new hole. It's bottomless.
Great. Now, I'm very excited to show you even more of my ideas for the sequel. Oh, for heaven... You see, I was right. The problem is you. The problem is that you like holes too much. Not normal. A normal person would have said, yep, that's an infinite hole right there. Goes on forever till the end of time. Don't need to see it all, but not you. Oh, no, 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 no. You have a weird sort of... Oh. Did the hole seem even shorter to you this time? Yeah. I couldn't help but feel like you spent a little less time in there than you did before. I mean, admittedly, I didn't make an infinite hole, but I didn't think it was that not infinite. Well, I suppose once again there's nothing to do here. If you decide you've had enough of the hole, you can hit the teleport button and come join me up above. Had enough? I'm positively thrilled. I really do have so much more to show you and to talk about, and I've had enough of the hole for a lifetime.
Mostly infinite hole. Yeah. Oh!
Gosh, how could I have guessed? You're back in the hole. If this starts to become a thing where... Wow. Okay. Yes. I'm starting to become extremely certain that the hole is not only not infinite, but that it's growing steadily less and less infinite. I suspect that I'm starting to hit the point where it's no longer feasible to call the hole infinitely deep, even by the lax overall standards for accountability and marketing. What's going on here? Stanley, I have no explanation for the uncertain nature of the hole's length. Here, let's try something. Let's pop back up to the top, and we'll see if it gets any shorter. Well, there it is. The shame of my lie has come to haunt me. Not only is the hole not infinite, but it's barely even a hole at this point. It's more of a concavity, or even a very aggressive divot. How is this still appealing to you? I know you're obsessed with holes, but at this depth, I just can't see this scratching the itch. Oh, who am I to judge? You just do whatever it is you're here to do and hit the teleport button when you're ready to move on. Is the, teleport button not working?
Game about digging a hole.
Well, I mean, I really don't have an explanation. It was working just a moment ago. Try it again. Still nothing? Well, I suppose there is one thing I can do to fix this. I'm out. Goodbye, Stanley. You couldn't bear to be away from the hole, and now you'll get more time with it than you could ever have asked for. It's a win for everyone. You get to be with the hole, I get to do literally anything else. Take care, Stanley. I hope you and the hole have a wonderful rest of eternity together.
It's descending. Way. This genius. This plan actually worked. No way. You mad, beautiful genius. Perception.
Stronger. Now you're no longer using your.
This music.
Oh, good, you're awake. It seems you had sort of dozed off there, drifting away into dreamland. But we can't have that, Stanley, because this hole is just so darn fascinating that I want you to be...
Damn it! I was having fun there.
You don't want to miss a single moment. So how about if I just pop in from time to time and wake you up to keep you really, truly focused
I
on
was
the
having
hole?
fun.
From the looks of things, you and I will have many, many years here in this hole, and I'm looking forward to all of them. Stay alert, Stanley. I'll be back. Toodlepip.
Damn you, game.
Here we are. Go on. Try out some of the new features.
Alright. Damn you. Powerful, yeah.
An epilogue would be fun, wouldn't it, Stanley? Yes, yes, it will go at the end of the, well, we'll figure that out later.
Freedom ending? What have we not done yet? We've done jump circle, we've done this map, we've done free achievement. On the button that says the name of the player that's playing the game. We've done merge. Oh, we haven't done settings world championship. And we haven't done Stanley Parable Rouge like that. Don't know if it's... Oh yeah, we've done. Okay, and then we'll do exit. I think exit makes most sense to go last. I think I need to be the world champion.
This is the story of a man.
Steam's favorite, yeah. Yeah, settings world champion. Also setting sliders in the menu to all the available. Go.
Aha! I can see you've gotten the Settings World Champion achievement. Well done. You've experienced every setting, traveled to all corners of the settings menu. There's nothing you haven't seen. So, just for you, in the Stanley Parable 2, I'm including an entirely new setting, something called bumpscosity. What exactly is bumpscosity?
Large right go. Yeah.
Well, I haven't quite figured that part out yet, but I just know that you'll be able to adjust it on some sort of slider, and that it'll be available from the settings menu. We'll sort the rest
Yes.
of the details out later. I hope you're looking forward to trying out every level of bumpscosity in the Stanley Parable 2.
I think one of the max bumps cost it. No. Maybe we need to lower it. I think 75 is the best. Turn it off. Oh yeah. No, this is unplayable. Sorry, 76. Wave? What? About a wave. Wave. I accidentally pressed the key press for wave.
A common complaint of the Stanley Parable was that it was confusing and paradoxical, that it engendered a chaotic sense of reckless despair in those who played it. Well, I'm happy to say that after much consideration, I've engineered a clever solution to this fundamental problem with the game. It's the Stanley Parable Reassurance Bucket. You see, Stanley, anytime you're holding the bucket, a sense of calm and ease will fill your mind and your heart. It's true. As long as you hold on to the bucket, the many disorienting contradictions of the Stanley Parable will feel perfectly normal and perhaps even comforting. You may even come to long for the gentle embrace of jarring cognitive dissonance while the bucket is in your arms. And to be honest, it's a much more convenient solution for me than actually redesigning the game to be less uncomfortable. Can you imagine what a pain in the ass that would be? Yes, the bucket is the perfect solution. Come on, give it a try.
This is a lobotomy core preference.
Can you feel it? The glow of comfort, even in the face of crushing despair, must already be sweeping through your body. And in fact, can I say that I do believe the bucket lends you an air of charisma as well? I think that just holding it has made you the slightest bit more attractive as a person. The benefits of the bucket seem to go on, don't they? All this and more await you in the Stanley Parable 2. Does anyone give out awards for most enjoyable bucket in a video game? That really should be an award if it isn't already. All right, have you seen everything you wanted to? Ready to move on now? So, Stanley, what do you think? Do you like all of the new features? Yes, I know it's not exactly clear yet how exactly these features will come together as one single coherent video game, but I can feel it in my soul. It's going to work. There's definitely a good game in there somewhere. Say, let's do an experiment. I'll arrange these new features together, and we'll see whether or not it coheres into a meaningful gameplay experience. Okay, are you ready? Here it is. I give you the Stanley Parable 2. I mean, there's potential here, right? It's sort of... Okay, never mind. Hold on, let me do a different arrangement. Okay, yes, this is much better. I feel good about this. Here we go. Version 2.
Oh, I love this.
Who am I kidding, Stanley? This isn't a coherent video game at all. It's a lot of gags. And I do very much enjoy creating gags, but they don't add up to anything. I wanted more than anything to create a sequel that would capture all the magic of the first game. I wanted fans to love it. No matter how good these gags are, they won't stand on their own. They would need the structure and the gameplay of the original. Wait, maybe that's it. I can take the original Stanley Parable and simply, well, insert a few of my new features into it. Tastefully, of course. With respect. With care for the vision and integrity of the original game. Would it possibly work? I suppose it could. But it would need a really, really tremendous title screen. A title screen that says with bold and uncompromising conviction, "This is the Stanley Parable 2. Let me see if I can whip something up. All right, perfect. Go ahead. Take a look.
Yo, this actually looks sick. This actually looks really cool.
This is the story of a man named Stanley. Stanley worked for a company in a big
It's the
building where
balloons.
he was employee number 427.
It's the balloons.
Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy. And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened. This complete isolation.
Waiting input.
Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
Huh? Stanley. sequels.
A soft wind blew outside and perhaps rain started, and if it did, it stopped shortly after. Stanley hoped that he would one day see weather.
I can see.
At first, Stanley assumed he'd broken the map, until he heard... Stanley decided to go to the meeting room to check on his co-workers. He never functioned well by himself and constantly needed support and guidance from others, so the thought of total solitude was terrifying to him. Stanley felt the bucket calling to him, begging him to pick it up. Why was he not doing it?
Oh, I didn't even notice the bucket over there.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Ah, yes, truly a room worth admiring. It had really been worth the detour after all, just to spend a few moments here in this immaculate, beautifully constructed room. Stanley simply stood here, drinking it all in. Yes.
I'm sorry to end it so suddenly, but I've just started not really being there. Anyway, it's been a long stream again, and I'm happy to have streamed. I'll definitely play this again soon. But for now, this has been your lovely little angel, Jim. Thank you all for watching. Till next one. Take care of yourself, okay? Yeah, actually I wanna say some more stuff. So I wanna really thank Brianna and the really and Strangers Plate for dropping by. Really appreciate it. Also, I don't know what else to say. I hope to be more consistent in the future again. And yeah. I don't know. I'm just gonna go now. This has been your lovely little angel, little Jim. And thank you all for watching. Until the next one. Take care of yourself. Okay. Bye bye. Bye bye. Bye. Bye bye. Mwah. 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 Bye bye.